Hey, everybody. Welcome to this week's edition of the Marketing Happy Hour. I'm one of your hosts, Dr. Christopher Vogelmann of drvogelmann.com and Maximize Your Media, which is our digital agency for all things very Pinteresting and social media. And with me, who wants to go next? Your boxes have changed this week. Let's take somebody. Wait, well, Cam.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Cam from epicconversions.com and the One Step Away podcast. Great to be here and happy to join everybody.
Sam, John, you're up.
One of you two.
I'll go. I'm John Paduchak with Video Social, and that's our digital agency, and where we do all kinds of cool video work.
Hello, everyone. This is Kayvon. I am from Simplify.zone, helping overworked entrepreneurs become effective entrepreneurs.
Okay. Well, I'm getting messages from my wife with regard to Trello, but we're going to move on from that. We're going to talk a little bit today about making better connections with people in terms of having, there's a difference between fans and finding just the right people to follow you along. And so the question is, we go back to some of the things we've been talking about recently, which is what is our intention of connecting with people and how do we make better connections, and how do we sort out the people who we want from those who, I was going to say not so much we merely tolerate or get rid of the people, repel the people we really don't want. And so anybody want to jump in to start this off?
I like the blue ocean strategy approach, as in, if I give my time and energy to the ones that are the right fit, I wouldn't have any time for the people that they're not a right fit. So that becomes like an automatic way of not dealing with that.
That's a good one. That's a good one, man. Mm-hmm. What do you say, John?
I was going to say, I like the law of attraction approach, where if I am, really focusing on the people that I'm trying to attract, I'll do the right things to do that. And so best way to attract your perfect customers is that way, in my estimation.
Yeah, those are good points. I'll tell you guys what, here's the thing to me, there's two standpoints, right? There's the standpoint from someone who has an audience already. They have a big audience. They're already known, and they can decide who they want to see them and who they want to keep. Then you got the person who's just getting started, and they got nobody. They literally got nobody, and they're trying to get it going, trying to figure it out. They got no list. They got no audience. They got nothing. And sometimes for that person, it is really hard to get any kind of traction, to get any kind of anything going on. And yeah, we want to repel the people we don't want to deal with. And yeah, we want to attract the people that resonate with us. But it can be frustrating for that person who's just getting started, just to get anyone to pay attention to them. So to me, that's like maybe a side question. Like, how do you get anyone, whether they resonate with you or not, interested in what you have to say?
Well, somebody's got to resonate you in some way, shape, or form. I remember when I started in practice in the late 80s, I would take anybody who was breathing with either a checkbook or a credit card. And that's the truth. It's the truth.
Yeah, I've done that.
And then after a while, I became more and more selective to the point where I would dismiss people before they even started, like a couple of Redskins players and some other folks who thought they were hotshots and didn't have to play by the rules, and figured if they're not going to fill out the forms and not going to answer all the questions properly, they're not going to really follow my recommendations. And so why do I need to have them disturbing all the rest of the people who are happy to come?
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, I remember when I first got started, the first time I tried to do consulting with people, like a coaching program, I took, I think 7 people signed up for that first coaching program, and it was one-on-one coaching, and I charged $497. So this was years ago, but I charged $497. I didn't know, how it was going to go. I was like a guinea pig kind of. You guys are going to be my guinea pigs kind of thing because I've never done this before. Very low price. What I found was at that price range for that one-on-one service, man, a lot of people didn't take it seriously. A lot of people weren't showing up for coaching sessions. So, of course, you need the right people for the right stuff. But I tell you, man, it's been a long time since like just nobody knew who I was. And I didn't have an email list I could just fire off whenever I was doing something new. But if I can just take my mind back to that place where like I had nothing, man, except maybe put a post on Facebook or something, but no one cared what I had to say. I mean, it's rough out there in 2021. I mean, you got to have some tactics to get things moving.
It's true. Definitely do.
Yeah, and you mentioned a few minutes ago, that contrast between not having anybody to talk to or already having an audience. And I think it's very important to, let's say, not compromise in those early stages. And this is like a lesson that came from my personal life. We all have ups and downs, and when you're down, usually it gets, everybody goes away and you're by yourself. You have lots of alone time to think about. So I was just coming out of one of those and a little bit desperate for social events and friendship and, just going for have a coffee and that sort of thing. Then I noticed a bunch of relationships are most about them and taking and that sort of thing. So I thought, you know what, in the optimum situation, how much time do I have for friends anyway, real friends? Maybe I have, 5 positions, 5 time slots, that I can fill in with people. So if 2 of them are high quality friends, 1 is okay, and 2 of them are more takers, they're going to take so much of energy from me that even if I have those, positions vacant and just sit at home and, be bored and not to talk to anyone, I'm still winning rather than trying to be with anyone. And guess what? If there are higher quality people showing up later and all the positions, all the time slots are full, I don't have time for, getting, so I should have vacant positions available for high quality people. So same thing in business. The right people, that it becomes a quality relationship, because it will go longer. They will bring other people to you. You'll have, not only customers for a long time, but also advocates. So the not compromising at the beginning, I think, even though it can be tricky, but it's very important.
Yeah, I think that's the question of the more, are we attracting more followers or better followers?
Mm-hmm.
And there may not be an advantage to having quantity. I know that several people with whom I'm acquainted, or actually some friends of mine too, will say that you can make a 7-figure business with an email list of 1,000 people, 1,000 of those raving fans who will also be your advocates, like you said, Kayvon.
Yeah.
Seth Godin has a name for it. 1,000 true followers or something like that.
1,000 true followers, or 1,000 1,000 big fans, 1,000
raving fans, I think it is.
Raving fans.
Yes.
They're not raving lunatics. They're raving fans.
They might
you guys make great points. I mean, absolutely fantastic points. And, it's absolutely true. I mean, the answer is not just to take anybody, just take anybody and everybody. It's so true. The answer to me is leverage. Like when you're brand new and you're getting started, you have to find ways to build leverage for your business. Simplify. Well, let's look at that book that Kayvon's putting out. That is leverage, right? When he puts that out, that produces leverage for him, right? Anything that puts you in a position where other people are going to care what you have to say is going to start to pull people around you and produce more leverage for you. And that's what you got to work for when you're new. It's not just take anybody and everybody and compromise your values and compromise how you want to do things. It's like, how can I get more leverage? I have none right now. So
makes total sense.
I think we've seen it a lot in the internet marketing world amongst people who will just try and sell something to as many people as possible and not necessarily deliver the quality. And they wonder why they don't have the high quality fans and advocates that you mentioned earlier.
That $10 customer. Get that $10 customer, baby.
That $10 customer.
Hey, I got no problem with a $10 customer. I got no problem with freebie seekers. It's what it is, guys. It's like the journey, right? Like a lot of guys come to internet marketing space. They start as freebie seekers, and there's like a succession, right? There's a journey they go on that they transfer as they get more knowledgeable about business, and as they learn more about what it takes. Then they become more okay with spending more money. But everybody starts out like not wanting to spend anything and just wanting to try to get stuff for free and stuff. And so what are you going to do, man? Everybody's moving through stages.
I don't, but some people, I think they don't really ascend the value ladder. I think they sort of get stuck about midway or down at the lower end of things, thinking that there's
You're
the
absolutely
magic
right.
button.
Well, they'll get stuck there for a while, won't they? They'll get stuck there for quite a while.
It could be. I mean, in my case, I was probably stuck there for 3 years. So
I've met people who were stuck there for 10 years, 10 plus years. I've known people who spent like $80,000, 10 plus years down at the bottom trying to figure out how to make money, haven't been able to make any money yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's at that point, it's kind of like there's something going up here that's kind of keeping you from moving forward. That's probably a topic for another subject, but yeah, totally, man.
So, John, what makes a better follower for you? I mean, somebody with whom you're connected. Clearly, they want to know about live video, I would, for one thing.
Well, yeah, that's definitely one of the key things, and I think one of the big things that makes a key follower is they're people that already kind of get you. You don't have to explain yourself to them. You don't have to, they just kind of understand you. At least that's what I find. Most of the people who I find are my best followers are just kind of get what I do. They understand the process and.
Well, what does that mean that they understand the process or they get you? Like they're not all RVers.
No. But they kind of have figured out a lot about you already. So they figured a little bit about you, and they kind of
stalked you.
Get what you're about. Not so much stalking, but there's definitely that familiarity that comes with working with people through video. So a lot of people I work with, might be a little bit different because I've already had they've had some exposure to me through something I've done on video or something of that sort. So that definitely makes a lot of difference.
Well, and the groups seem to have helped you a bit too, like the small. Is the local business marketing?
Yeah, local business strategies is definitely
strategies. Okay.
Too, for sure.
Cam, do you belong to any groups? Attract.
Yeah, you mean like Facebook groups?
Yeah, I mean Facebook groups or groups at I guess we used to have forums. So
yeah, we have forums. I think Facebook groups are kind of like the new forums. I think not a lot of people are hanging out in forums anymore. I mean, there's still people hanging out in forums, but a lot of people are hanging out on social media. You have like these kind of natural habitats that people kind of circulate every time they go on the internet. Facebook happens to be one of them. Instagram happens to be one of them. Like every time you go online, it's like you just end up at one of these platforms. Sometimes people don't go anywhere but that platform. They're not even like, hey, I'm going to surf the internet anymore. Hey, I'm going to jump on the gram, or hey, I'm going to jump on Facebook. It's not even about getting online to look at anything else except that one social platform. So yeah, I think the Facebook groups, they've kind of taken the place of forums in a lot of ways. Maybe you could say Skype groups also a little bit. I have a Facebook group to answer your question. It's got like 1,100 buyers in it. They're all people who have bought my products. Do I think it's helpful to me? It is helpful in some ways. I don't think it's the best way to get buying transactions. Like, for instance, if I'm Kayvon and I want to sell that book, I'm probably not going to sell the most copies in my Facebook group. Even though I got 1,100 buyers in there, most of those people make buying decisions by email, but I can build loyalty in there. I can build trust.
You can nurture those relationships.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the one thing that I find is that all those places are great places to kind of communicate where you're on a level when you can kind of find out about what people are looking for to build better things.
And I can only speak from personal experience, guys. I'm not like pooing on anybody who uses Facebook groups to make money. On me. Yeah, I mean, I can only speak from my personal experience. I have a lot of experience with Facebook groups. I started using them in 2016. And I've had several Facebook groups over the years. I have two right now. One's called Lust for Launching. It's kind of a smaller baby Facebook group. It's only got like 600 people. They're all product vendors and people who want to launch products and affiliate marketers. And then I have my mastermind group with like 1,100. And like I said, they're both great groups. I think it's good. I just, it just depends on what your goal is, right? I mean, everything has a purpose. If your goal is to make money and like you're putting this thing together to make money, I think it needs to be the email. So that's what I'd say. I hate like beating the same horse. I'm sorry, guys. I don't mean to be like.
Well, that's a good point because each one of them is good for the right thing. Like our topic today is making real two-way connections. So Facebook groups can be a good place for that. Yeah. I sometimes see people have questions or put something on that I like to respond and comment, and we have a little conversation, real conversation and connection going on. And I agree with you. It's probably not the right place to sell stuff. So going with the intention of I'm going to get on some social media for connection, as opposed to let's just get on Facebook to see what's up. That's, it's like flipping channels on TV. Right?
And you could do it. I mean, you can still sell like I know I've used conversational marketing pretty effectively on Facebook. Like I'll go to other people's groups sometimes. This works better, I think, for building your list. But like you can go like to other groups that are like in the same grain as your niche, big groups, like at least 1,000 members with engagement every day. And you can like, let's say you have, like let's just take Kayvon's book, for instance, like that subject, you could take the subject and the benefit and you can just make a comment about that. Like, I've been doing a lot of research on this kind of subject lately. Does anybody here have interest in stuff like that? Just like kind of just conversational, whatever. And then you get a conversation going like in the replies to your comment. You can reach out to those people privately, right? And then talk about, hey, listen, man, are you interested in this? I got this thing going on. I don't know if you're interested, but you might enjoy it. I've had luck with that, especially for opt-in stuff. Like if you're just trying to give something for free, that works pretty good. But yeah, so that's what I'd say.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. Especially for those initial steps of marketing and selling, right? The prospecting part of it.
So would you recommend name dropping in my latest book? Or is that too much?
I would. I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't. I mean, especially if nobody knows who you are, you might as well take every advantage you can get. I was just hanging out with Tony Robbins yesterday. I mean, only if it's true, right? Only if it's true.
Yeah, that's true.
Don't lie.
Look, Kayvon's got a famous mentor. So, like, I mean, I would definitely be name dropping anything you can to raise yourself up a little bit.
Yeah, those when a real connection happens, it's I don't have another word for it except joy. It's a just right now before this call, I was on a call with a stranger. I don't know if you guys know about Lunch Club.
Yes,
I do.
Yes, so Lunch Club.
John introduced me to Lunch Club.
Yeah, there you go. So there was a Lunch Club meeting just before this, and I was talking to this very nice lady. We met for the first time, and after a few sentences, the conversation was just flowing, and we talked about our businesses. We talked about what she does and what I do, and then we had things to contribute to each other, or things that we had in common. Similar frustrations, or similar little bit of a success, or even talking about being more productive. She had an Oura ring. I used the Fitbit, and how do we use that to optimize our sleep and all of that. So I don't have any other word for something like that just naturally flows except joy or a flow of conversation. So I really like it when those things happen.
Well, there's a synchronicity and there's a certain energy exchange that goes back and forth. And I think you get a dopamine rush from one of those interactions.
Oh, definitely.
Very satisfying.
As long as it's not addictive.
It's plenty addictive. You're playing the game of personal connections. I do find that you can make a comment. We're using the Zook book as an example, or the Book of Faces. And I do find, though, that if you can message someone with Facebook Messenger, you can have that back and forth a lot easier than you can in the comment section.
Mhm.
And I think that's where I've established some of my best relationships, is just using that messenger. Although as you get higher up in the food chain and marketing, some people are less and less responsive to any sort of thing that may come through messenger. Case in point, Rich Sheffrin, who finally messaged me back recently.
He
after-
is busy, man. He's busy.
I know,
working
he's
on
busy,
so
but I
many
was just so
things.
surprised he finally messaged me.
Hey, listen, man. Let me tell you something about this. Okay, so I was using a product I did a little bit ago. I forget which one it was, but like it was about email marketing, I believe, and I made a point on that sales page about Rich Sheffron, Frank Kern, and somebody else about, hey, some of the best people in internet marketing use email marketing to get they say this is the most effective strategy. Rich was one of those people on my sales page. I put him right there, his picture, and I put these other guys' picture on the sales page. Rich got with me, private message, and was like, hey man, I might want to ask you a question about your sales page. And I was like, oh man, I messed up. And I was like, oh dude, yeah, at first I was like, yeah, sure, man, shoot. I thought he wanted to get my advice about something. And I was like, yeah, sure, man, sure, what's up? And then I started thinking about it. I was like, oh, wait, I got him on one of my sales pages. I bet he doesn't like that.
You shall not use the Lord's name in vain.
I know, right? I thought, oh, I bet he doesn't like that. So I was like, oh, wait, dude, I think I know what you want to ask me about.
I think I already know.
What you want to ask me about, man. And I got freaked out, and I kind of removed it and changed the copy. I was like, hey, man, don't worry about it. I already took it down. I meant no offense. I was just trying to make a point. I just look up to you a lot. I think you're awesome. I was just trying to make a point. And then he got back to me and he was like, no, man, it wasn't like that, man. I just wanted to know how it converted for you. I just wanted to know how it was doing. And I was like, oh, man, it was doing awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Wait, I'll go put it back.
I was too lazy to go put it back, man.
You got to re-upload that photo. Quick.
Yeah,
guys, we have a couple of questions on Facebook.
Cool.
Well, one is Edward J. Winslow and says, what's on tap today? And Donalyn Riley says, hi, Dr. V. Good to see you.
Donalyn, you're so awesome. The problem is that I actually was getting a lot of messages. I closed out Facebook because the messages wouldn't stop. And I don't know why it's not loading. Interesting enough.
I don't see the comments anymore.
I don't either, man. I don't see them.
Facebook
they are not on
probably in the marketing
StreamYard, but I see them on Facebook. I'm looking at
on the Book of Faces.
Facebook doesn't like us, John. That's why we're not seeing them, man.
I don't know what we're going to do.
I think they want us to use the app. Oh, there she is. There's Donalyn.
I'll tell you another great way to pull the people towards you that you want, the customers you want. So is just low ticket, right? Putting low ticket offers out there that aren't extremely high ticket, where people that you want they can see what you have to offer at a lower ticket, get to know you, and then graduate to higher ticket purchases. That's one way to do it.
Yeah.
Not like low ticket like coaching, like I was talking about before. I'm talking about low ticket special report type stuff, one problem, one solution type stuff.
So question for you, Cam.
Sure.
You know what you mean when you say this, but I recently noticed that so many people may not know. So please educate me and all the people like me that they don't know. What are your definitions of low ticket, mid?
Sure.
And high ticket, like the price ranges.
Yeah, sure. So this is like everyone's got their own little ideas about this. For me personally, when I talk about low ticket, man, I am talking about usually anywhere from $10 up to like $49, right? In that range, right? And look, I mean, let's be real. Like that $37 offer is not going to convert like that $10.80 offer. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would say for me, mid ticket goes up to like a lot of people would say $4.97. Mid ticket goes up to $4.97.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I convert very well at the $97 price point, and then again at the $197 price point. And then of course, high ticket can go all the way up to like $20K. I'm not a big enough fish to sell anything for $20K. I've never sold anything for $20K. I think the biggest thing I sell is for like $2K. So yeah, that's what I would say about that, man. Now I was watching Rich do a video the other day where he was talking about Agora And Agora has this amazing luck selling the premiums at the $49 price point, which I think that's amazing. I've never sold at $49. So, well, no, I've sold at 47 in a funnel, and it's converted okay. But I mean, I don't know. He said that's the best price point because, so like 47, you get a little bit better quality of customers than at the lower like $19 price point, and then with the $97 price point, you're getting about the same level of customer. However, you're going to convert more at the $49 price point than you will at the 97. Is this too in depth, dude? Am I getting too weird?
No, I think
actually,
it's actually okay. Yeah, because we all have different definitions. I mean, I think that, when you look at price points for low ticket, high ticket, I mean, I know several people for whom their high ticket offer is $100K a year. And then they regard low, I guess, mid ticket up to about $2,000, and they'll say anything above 2,000, maybe 2,000 to 20 requires a telephone call to get somebody into that their mid ticket range. But it's interesting you mentioned the 97 because I was talking to John. We were trying to price an offer that we were going to look at, and we did talk about 97, perhaps weeding out some people. Yeah.
A good spot, man. It's a good spot. It's if you need to make a quick couple $1,000s, to pay for something else, or to to invest in another thing you got going on, and you're trying to get some capital together, you can do like the $97 price point on like kind of a mid-level course, something that's not such a small little thing. It's got a little more meat and potatoes on it. Maybe you even offer like a couple of group coaching sessions that come with it to seal the deal. And the $97 price is nice, and people love it. So,
Kam, we have a question for you.
For me?
Yes.
Me? It must be the haircut.
Donalyn is asking, I like that. I have a freebie with a $7 recording behind it.
Yes.
The coaching prices, I wonder what your primary or favorite traffic source is.
Well, okay, so look, I mean, you're not going to like this answer, but like the best traffic source, hands down, if we're talking about where you get the most conversions, it's email. The people on your email list, that's your best traffic source. If you're talking now, if we want to talk about second best conversion, we're talking about warm traffic here, right? Warm traffic. Your hottest traffic is your personal email list that you keep engaged with every week. Your second hottest traffic is going to be coming from your referral traffic or your affiliate traffic. Like, this is very warm traffic. Now, after that, we start looking at some paid traffic options. And, look, you're going to have to pay me before I start getting into that stuff. But I will tell you that with the paid traffic, you should be driving it to your email list.
So would that be cold traffic?
Yeah, she has cold traffic.
Yeah, that's cold traffic, man. Yeah, with paid traffic, I have a saying, right? And I didn't make this up. I got this from Alex Jeffries many years ago. But the saying is paid to free and free to paid. And what that means is drive your paid traffic to free offers and drive your free traffic to paid offers.
So that makes a lot of sense.
I learned that. I didn't invent that. So
and he was a client of Rich also, which is very interesting.
These are smart guys, man. Smart guys.
Kam, you also mentioned something else that was interesting to me. You mentioned, the kind of people who buy the $39 offer versus the kind of people who buy the $19 offer. So I think it ties back to what we were talking at the beginning of what kind of people do you want to hang out with? What kind of clients do you want to have? So your pricing can also be a, let's call it, filtering factor for attracting the right kind of clients to your business.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I don't want people to get the wrong idea and think that people usually have the wrong perception, right? Like, they have a perception of like, these people are higher quality than these people, right? And that's not true, man. It's just like, they're all the same people, but they're at different aspects of their journey. So these people can graduate to these kind of people. It just depends on where they're at on their journey. But yeah, of course, if you're running a business, you're looking at people who are at a special spot on the track, right? So yeah, for sure. I think that the $10 offer, you can get those people all the way up to $27. You're going to lose a lot of them at the $47 price point, but you're still going to get some of them. Especially like if we're talking about a funnel, if you got like a $10 offer on the front and then you got like a $47 as OTO1, then you will get some of those, probably get like maybe 15% of them. So
yeah, makes sense. There is another question from Edward. He's asking, how do you promote the under $50 products?
Well, there's several ways you could promote it. It depends on a lot of things, right? And I hate to say that as like a marketer, it's like a common cookie cutter marketer
It's
response.
the famous comment. It depends.
Yeah, it depends, right? I mean, obviously, this is going to sound like a broken record, but obviously, like you can promote anything if you have an email list, right? Anything. Like that's how I can start a podcast and like, boom, I got like 500 downloads in the first week because I already have an audience, right, in place. And like, it's the same, right? You want to promote a $47 offer. Okay, well, the best thing you can do is build leverage, right? But if you have no leverage, what was his name, Kayvon?
Edward.
Ed Winslow.
Edward. Yeah, Ed, if you don't have any if you don't have an audience, if you don't have any email list, if you don't have anything, man, you're just getting started. You're going to have to do a couple things. Number one, you're going to have to work on building some leverage. That might be a YouTube channel where you publish every week and talk about things in your space or do review products of other people. It would be best if you had them on as guests, like interviews when they got stuff going on. Anything that can kind of like connect you with people who already have influence and audience, celebrity by association, anything to build your leverage in the space. And then obviously, man, the second best traffic you can get is referral traffic. So, you're looking for any kind of affiliates that might be willing to promote your thing. So,
and a big Facebook group helps, Ed.
Yeah, there you go.
And nurture, but you got to nurture those people. One of my favorite people is Rachel Miller, and she always talks about you need to love on your people. Like, I mean, just be there, supportive, and nurturing those relationships until they feel like they really do know you, and that you're probably one of the most important people with whom they hang out, online or offline. So.
I have a parallel question for all of you about that.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts on let's call it the sophistication or complexity of the funnel or the size of the landing page or sales page in relation to the price? Do you go with a shorter one and a more straightforward kind of a funnel when it's the lower price, so make it quick, or the other way around?
I think just the opposite, which is if you've got, and the only reason I say this is because I'm working myself and creating a higher ticket coaching offer. And I have a couple of people who've been helping me. And one of the things that got me into an offer was a relatively short sales page with a video that led to watch this webinar before we get on our call. But because it's an application funnel, it's a lot less, I think there's a lot less text involved than having a digital product funnel. So,
ladies and gentlemen, write that down. Highlight that.
You're really turning into quite the radio personality. It's funny because I can't see any of these comments. It's so frustrating. I don't know what streamer is. And where are you picking these up? I picked them, some of them.
I just clicked on on the video that we have on Facebook. So I see the video over there with a little bit of delay, but people are leaving comments for us.
Okay.
Donna Lynn is waiting for Dr. V jokes. So
she's waiting for the Dr. V joke. Oh boy. Well, we have to wait a little longer now. I'm dealing with 3 other people. So.
One thing I would say about Facebook, we're talking about Facebook with the groups, is that like if you're gonna put together a new Facebook group, if you can, like the first thing I would do when I put together a new Facebook group, right? And you want to build it and you want to get it bigger and you want to keep it going. And like Doc says, you want to nurture those relationships. Like, man, the first thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be recruiting. I'm going to be scouting. I'm going to be looking for people in other Facebook groups or in other places on Facebook that are smart. They're saying smart things. They're doing smart things and they're engaging with people. I'm going to say, hey, can I offer you a spot as a moderator in my group, man? And in exchange for that, like, I'm going to give you free promotional ability. Like, you can promote the things you want to promote. All I ask is that you moderate in my group. You put together a team of Avengers, right? These are like Avengers Assemble, right? And these are your moderators. they will build your group for you and keep it going. So and just so
Just don't make me Iron Man.
yeah.
He dies at the end.
But I always about the funnel thing.
It's that or
Kayvon.
Thanos. Take your pick.
And about the
Yes.
funnel thing, you're asking about the funnel thing, Kayvon. I agree with Doc on that. I think that like if you get a lower ticket offer, you need a bigger funnel. If you want to make more money, like if your goal is not money, then it doesn't matter as much. But if
Were we talking about the funnel, or were we talking about the landing page, the sales page?
Well, I wanted to know your opinion about both. All of your opinions about
Ah.
both, because like actually they kind of well now that I'm listening to you, they kind of go hand in hand, because
Yeah.
a low price offer in a more sophisticated multi-step funnel gives you so many chances for upsell and downsell and
Right.
resell and that sort of thing. So eventually a lead can end up with a higher customer value for you. On the other hand, on a high ticket offer, people who are looking at that sales page, they already have a good level of knowledge and awareness about what's going on here. Basically, they come here with already prepared mind and educated. They don't need to be sold to as a new idea. They're here to basically get confirmation on what they thought they're going to get and make it happen. A short and sweet for a high ticket offer. Now that you mentioned it, makes sense more over there. And on the other way, that is low ticket offer, mostly probably for people who are seeing you for the first time and this is their education. So you want to educate them and give that love and communication and value and all of that. So longer page and more sophisticated.
Yeah, and they may not have been exposed to the whole world of digital marketing. And so you have to give a lot more detail in there.
Mm-hmm.
I know that that's one of the things that I faced when I put together my first coaching program for doctors. I had to agitate all these pain points and everything else. And I realized in retrospect, I was just giving away too much information on a sales page.
Mm-hmm.
And the better approach would probably be to drive them to perhaps an evergreen webinar. And then after they have all that base of knowledge, then send them to the landing page to book a call, the so-called discovery call or strategy call or whatever it is. But usually that's the result, something like that is the result of having established a relationship for a while, or at least being everywhere, sort of having a certain omnipresence where they feel that you're some sort of a celebrity, at least in their particular box on the interwebs.
I do. I try to do my best to pre-sell people everywhere I can along the way.
Yeah.
And try to keep everything as reasonably concise as possible. But, because, and I love the evergreen webinar idea too. And most people do those. But the other thing these days, a lot of people don't want to sit through a webinar. You gotta really get them enticed that it's something they really want to see before they'll sit through it.
Well, and that's why the option is good too, to give someone. Yeah. I found that with the doctors, a lot of them didn't want to go through an entire webinar, but if I gave them a PDF, a transcript, no problem. They'd like to scan it because they're scanning patient notes all the time. So that's where you have to know how your audience prefers to consume content. Now, podcasts would be a whole different story. And I think that's why Clubhouse is working very well, because the audio only is incredibly convenient. I mean, for God's sakes, you could be mowing your lawn and listening to a podcast.
No, that might be.
And I thought you were going to say mowing your lawn and doing a podcast.
Mowing your lawn.
Wait a minute now.
I've got enough trouble with cargo planes, fighter planes, and Black Hawk helicopters coming past my window here. I don't need a lawnmower. That's one last thing I want.
So you might as well, right? Just get the lawnmower.
The lawnmower would be the quiet part of my day.
Hey guys, what's up? I'm just mowing my grass here. I just had a thought today. I wanted to get this on the podcast.
I'm just mowing.
Your snow blowing my driveway.
I got my weed whacker, and weed is legal in California now. So
I'm just whacking that stuff up and smoking
just making a smoothie.
I'm just making a smoothie. Got
my blender going over here.
And the blender is pretty loud. That would be really interesting. I've actually seen people like Drew Canoli and some of these others where they do blend all of their veggies and fruits and things live. And I've seen that too with Maggie, with my wife, with her Instagram lives. She's making various types of salsas, and that blender goes like.
Hang on a minute.
Yeah.
And speaking of
Something else.
marketing and marketing happy hour and blenders, I am in love with those Will It Blend advertisements. Have you guys seen those? Yeah. It's
Blend
really happy. It's really good marketing. It's, you cannot not watch. It's
Will
very
this
engaging.
face
Genius.
blend?
Yeah. Will It Blend?
Man, that's funny.
Yeah.
Those are good. Those are good commercials, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If our listeners or watchers on viewers on YouTube or Facebook, you haven't seen the Will It Blend, go on YouTube and search for, I think the company is called Blend Tech. Actually, it is. I have one of the blenders here.
Blendtec is the Blendtec that we use in the kitchen, actually.
Yeah, there you go. So the guy just puts an iPhone or magnet or different things in the blender, and the question is always, will it blend?
Yeah.
Will that Bluetooth speaker make a blue smoothie?
I think the pavement was a little rough on it, though.
Man, I'll tell you guys, not to change the subject, man, but I'll tell you guys another thing about funnels that's really cool. So like you can expand your customer base, right? By taking like that OTO1, like you got that low ticket and you got so many people who convert on that low ticket, and then you got like that OTO1, right? Let's say it's at $47.
Yep.
You got so many of them, Doc. You got so many of them, Kayvon. RV John, you got so many of them that'll convert at $47. All right. How can we make more of them convert at $47? Now, what I've found is that I can convert more of them at 47 if I take away the guilt of buying extra stuff. And the way I do it is I'll say, hey, listen, you don't have to pay anything for 30 days. And then after 30 days, we're going to divide it up into 2 payments, right? And it sounds ridiculous. I'm going to divide $47 up into 2 payments. It doesn't matter. It's going to like double your conversion rate, man. I don't really care. I don't care. I can wait on the money. It doesn't matter. I want to convert higher at OTO1. I can do it if I take away the guilt of buying it right now. Like I just bought this thing, man. I don't want to pay for it right now. Like I just bought this. Oh, I can divide it up into 2 payments, and I don't even have to pay the first payment for 30 days.
To me, and I like it.
I don't have to pay the first payment for 30 days. All right, yeah, I'm in, dude. Let me get it. I'll get that too.
So what would you say is your experience or your idea of, let's say that you have a 4K program? Would $2,000 split 30 days convert better than, or let's say that you make it a little higher because you're going to be carrying?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's
2,200 times 2.
Yeah, make it a little higher. I mean, you make it a little bit higher. Like the people who pay the 4K right now, like give them the deal, right? Give them the deal. Right. Then boost the other one up a couple $100, just a couple $100, but they get to split the payment up. If they can split the payment up into like 3 payments or 4 payments, some of those people are going to convert on it just because they can split it up into 4 payments, right? And they wouldn't convert on it if they had to pay it all right now. So
I noticed the increasing popularity of payment plans that are even around $400 a month, either $200 or $400 a month, depending on the size of the package. Yeah, John?
There's a lot now. I mean, even for physical goods, there's a lot more payment plans.
Like your Peloton.
I'm seeing, I think Peloton has one.
Yeah, they do.
I know I was looking at electric bikes recently, because we wanted something to take behind the RV and not have to tow a car. And so they've got the payment plans for electric bikes. I mean, those suckers are expensive. They're like $2,000 a piece or more. So, I mean,
or more. We have a friend
or more. Yeah. So, I mean, it makes sense to do that.
They're cool looking, man. They look really cool.
They're cool. And so you see it on all these different things. But that just really started fairly recently with COVID, that all these payment plans popped into place.
Well, that's true. There are more of them. So do you think a payment plan would attract a lower quality of customer or fan or not?
I don't think so necessarily.
No,
because you're still attracting the same. I'd like to think you're attracting the same person.
Right.
They just, want it to be more affordable, and like Cam says, take away the guilt.
Yeah, like that broken up, man.
Yeah,
this can happen.
Yeah.
And I see recently my credit card company also provides payment plan. Like they see a bigger transaction on my credit card, and there is an option beside it. Do you want to make this a payment plan?
Yeah.
So
American
That
Express
could be something.
did that. Yeah, Amex did that a few years ago. I remember. I think it was
Yeah.
was it 4 or 5 years ago? If you made a really big high ticket purchase, suddenly they let you go into a payment
Yeah.
plan or something.
Yeah.
And they're giving me multiple options. Like, do you want to make 6 payments, 4 payments, 8 payments, and that kind of a thing, different rates. So that could be something that we can negotiate on our shopping cart with a credit card company. Like, if you pay with MasterCard, you get, I don't know, this sort of advantage if you buy now, kind of a thing.
Well, PayPal's always had that. They
Mhm.
had, the payment plan thing.
Yeah, I mean, in internet marketing, it's like, I mean, man, you got people at so many different like pay scales. You got people who don't make anything a year; they're unemployed. You got people who make a lot of money a year who are getting ready to retire. You got the whole spectrum of salaries, all interested in this one thing: how can I make money on the internet? Like, so when you got that kind of a situation, and you're trying to increase your conversion rates on higher ticket products, you know, if you see them all as the same, as far as like they might not all make the same amount of money, but they're all on the same journey of how much they're willing to spend, then the payment plan makes a lot of sense because you can convert more of them. So,
yeah.
But
Well, I think, and also the audience that you are targeting, your particular customer avatar, your ideal client, makes a huge difference. You're not necessarily, or at least I'm not, after the 20-something who's interested in a bunch of Lambos and and pills. I'd rather have a Tesla because I'm a little more practical. So.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. My customer demographic is like, when I see the people who follow me and I see all the people doing my podcast and all the people that are consuming my content, it's like all like 50 something, 60 something, 70 something. I'm like, man,
that's interesting. You skew older. I
do, man. I skew older than me, and it makes me feel like an old fogey, man.
To me, I skew younger than me, which is really interesting.
Yeah, I tend to skew younger.
Switch audiences sometimes.
I'm not proud of it, but it's true.
I'm not proud of it.
I don't know what it is, man. I've been skewing that way forever. Like I'm talking like 8 years. I've been skewing that way. I've been skewing like older than me for a while. So
it's because
I don't know what it is, man.
It's Ohio.
Right.
Probably is.
It's because you're wise.
Rust Belt.
Yeah, I'm wise. I don't feel very wise.
Your words on paper are wise.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we need the nickname for you, Cam. It's going to be sort of like Kam AARP Jennings.
Yeah.
50 and above.
The golden Buckeye card, man.
The golden Buckeye card.
I don't know, man. Our original topic's connections, right? Our original topic is how to make the right connections with the right people.
Yeah, it's more fun. The overarching one is all about connections, and today we're just looking at the advantage of attracting more followers versus saying a lower number of better followers, and what it takes to sort through them.
I'll take them all, man.
I'll
take them all and sort them out in the email box.
But any sort of a funnel does that for you. You have you do your low tickets, and you're going until boom, you've got the Joe Polish, 100K Genius Network mastermind.
Man, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
And any sort of marketing should do that, because that's the idea of marketing. It's not to attract more people; it's to filter out the right people.
Yeah.
And I think when you talk about marketing is allegedly makes sales superfluous. At least that was Peter Drucker's comment. Yeah. When you think about that, I guess having the idea of a high ticket page that has very little information but just gets straight to the point. It says, here are the benefits of working with me. Here's a couple of testimonials. Click here and book a call. Let's find out if I'm a good fit for you. And if I'm not, I'll send you to somebody else who might be.
Right.
I like that approach because it's very non-threatening. I'm not going to push you into a 10K program if really what you need is, a $1,000 program with somebody else. Because you don't have enough experience yet. You don't have enough exposure. But I think more than anything else, people are looking for a trusted guide to help them avoid the pitfalls and the potholes of what's going on the internet. The last thing you want to do is have somebody fall into a pothole the size of a coffin. Because
I've had clients like that too.
Said.
Like I told them that we're not the right fit and that sort of thing, but they wanted to continue. And later on, you find out it's a matter of trust.
Yeah, right.
Because they they bring that up later. So for some reason, we had a good trust going on between the two of us.
Yeah.
And they preferred that to, a better match, at least in my opinion. I don't know. I'm not going to speak for them.
It's heavily weighted, man. It's you guys are right. I mean, it's weighted heavily. That trust factor is a huge thing.
Well, I think you can establish that by just everybody talks about provide value. But I mean, you're just educating people on what it takes to build a real business. And I would think that part of becoming a trusted guide is to let people know, like you told Cam, there is no easy button. You can push it and think that's going to tell you, well, that was easy.
It's going to be easy for somebody, and it's going to be easy for you.
The only way.
That was easy.
It's the guy who created the easy money button who's saying, I always imagine when Kayvon presses that, I always imagine it's the guy who put the sales page up on the easy money button product. He's like the one saying that was easy. Well, everyone's buying his thing.
They all want my button.
And I had this idea that, there are sometimes you have, you do something and that was easy and I need a button here. So that was stupid. But I have those moments as well.
I need one of those.
I need a button.
Wait for you to celebrate, Kayvon. I got my logo. It's a Target and it's orange. That was
there.
Easy.
You go. Boom. Put it right here.
Man, that's crazy.
So with funnels, I guess since we're talking about sorting through people and all, I mean, how many steps would you recommend in a funnel? Because I think if you have this endless funnel that goes into upsells, downsells, and the person doesn't get out of there without a minimum of 5 OTOs or one-time offers, for those of you who aren't familiar with funnels, doesn't somebody potentially walk away with a really bad taste in their mouth if they suddenly, I came in here for a $7 thing and suddenly I've spent over $1,000.
Yeah, it's a tricky thing. I think we should get out of our own way and just trust the data, like to have a 5-step version or a 3-step version and see which one performs better, because it's very tricky. Like, for example, we like this sort of thing. When I see a funnel with many ups and downs, I like to see what happens next, and I'm paying attention, and I like to learn. What if I do this? What if I do that? But for somebody else, it could be very annoying. But for some, at the same time, some people find that useful and helpful, or sales work. So I think my suggestion is, let's try and see what data says.
I mean, as students of marketing, I think the thing that I enjoy more than anything else is not so much the upsell, but the downsell, and how the downsell then leads you into some other place that creates the upsell.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. You guys are talking about some things I love talking about now. So I mean, like, this is some geeky stuff we're talking about right now, though. I don't know how fun this is gonna translate.
We should probably come back to just followers and people who follow you. Let's say that they follow you because you send them emails, or they follow you on Instagram. I was going to say Insta because that's apparently the cool thing to say. Or they follow you on YouTube. Smash that button. They got the little bell going so they know that you're there. Or they follow you on Clubhouse, or they follow you on something else. And I mean, what would you recommend, since we're kind of closing out our time here, what would you recommend is the best thing that you can do to encourage the right people to follow you?
Well, can I say something about the funnel thing real quick?
Yeah. Because
I can't help it, man. I can't help it. All right.
It's an addiction.
All right, look. Okay, so for me personally, I want 1 in the front and 6 in the funnel. Okay, and that works best for me. And I've tested, like Kayvon's talking about, I've tested at 9. I've tested at 3. I've tested at 4. I've tested at 6. 6 works really good for me. There's such a thing as funnel fatigue. You're right. You guys are absolutely right. So some people get sick of going through the funnel and all the stuff, but that's a vocal minority who says they hate sales funnels. The fact of the matter is, the bigger your sales funnel, the more money you're going to make, especially if you're running affiliate traffic and you're running a low ticket on the front. So it's got to be a triple win with affiliate traffic. The affiliate's got to win, you got to win, the customer has to win. So for me, it works best at 6. in the funnel and one in the front. But that's just me.
But if you're trying to do a coaching funnel, because I know some people, they'll do the only offers that they have is a
The coaching package.
It's a
Those are
one-on-one or a group coaching.
Yeah, like a webinar to group coaching package. Yeah, I mean that's cool. Or you could now it's like virtual summit, right? Because this
Right.
COVID-19 thing, the virtual summit's a little hotter than the webinar right now. So yeah, I mean, yeah, that could be all there is to it. I think they're registering them. You know what I mean? So they're getting the email no matter what.
Right.
And then when they follow up with low to mid ticket offers. So even though they might not buy the high ticket, they're still following up with the low to mid tickets. And you'll see that if you study those emails, like you register for the webinar, you're on the free webinar, they're selling a high ticket offer, you don't take them up on it, watch what they start pitching you in the emails, and you're going to see them low to mid ticket. So that's what I see anyways. I don't know.
Yeah. I've been seeing a lot more of the checkbox upgrade things too on the
the bumps. The bumps are huge, man. The bumps are huge on the low tickets.
Yeah, they're very huge. And I've also noticed that they've maybe shortened the funnel a little bit and put more stuff in the bumps on the front.
Yeah, look, you can go like $7.95 on the front end little special report. You can have like a $19.97 bump. If that's a good bump, like it'll convert like crazy just because it's like right there on the checkout page.
I've got to laugh because my mind is clearly in a different world because I was thinking, oh yeah, $795, and then you bump it up to the.
Well, good luck on the sales page that sells a $797.
I'm saying because that's the program. The program I'm looking at right now is basically, a 5K package that I would give to people in an 8-week coaching program for around that price, about $800 or $747 or something like that, and then after getting the experience and getting those doctors' results, then bringing out the program, of course, at the higher ticket value that I talked about previously.
Yeah. And I think that makes total sense for you, man. When you think about your target market, I mean, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if they would take a $7 product seriously. I think 47 is probably the lowest I could go.
Now you're talking about guys who all make 100K plus a year. Like it doesn't make sense to play around with that low ticket stuff.
Yeah.
So.
But I mean, but I've been a person who's purchased a lot of low ticket stuff and gradually gone up somebody's value ladder. But it's interesting because sometimes you get people who buy something low ticket like $7 and they're more than willing to plunk down.
Yeah, I paid $7 for a nice infographic.
For an infographic, I will sell you animated pins for Pinterest for $5 a piece because we're doing those in the agency now.
Yeah. So we're coming to the end of the. You wanna?
Thank you,
Kayvon,
for keeping me on track, dearly beloved. We are gathered here
to put another one to rest.
In the site of the internet, the interwebs, Zookbook, and the Book of Faces. Actually, in YouTube too. Don't forget. Google, we remember, don't be evil. Gosh, is there anything else that you want to say, any of you three, before we close this thing out?
I just like to say, man, it's always fun hanging out with you guys every week and talking, shooting the whatever, and just
the breeze.
The breeze.
Yes.
Yeah, I really had fun, and both Donalyn and Edward, they're saying, they had fun and great chat and that sort of thing. So we had fun. Our listeners and viewers had fun. What else do you want?
We love answering you guys' questions, man. Keep those questions coming.
Yeah, in the comments and stuff. And if you ever want to hit us up in the chat section, you can, because we also have the Marketing Happy Hour page here on the Faces. I will say, interestingly enough, I got to figure out why Kayvon is seeing the comments and I am not. But
because I'm the man.
Facebook likes Kayvon better than us. That's all there is.
Well, no, what I recognized was it was on my personal page. On my personal page came up, but they would not come up in the comments section on StreamYard. So I'm going to have to ask them to troubleshoot that thing because I am not a happy camper.
I'm having the same problem.
Yeah, and maybe it's because we're early adopters.
No,
I'm looking at your personal page, and that's where I see those comments.
Is there anything untoward or risque there?
No.
Not yet.
Good.
Just lots of love.
It's at least PG-13. All right.
Photos, but that's it.
That's it. Okay. Good.
See you guys.
Hey, make it a great day.
See you
Bye-bye.
later.